Disclaimer, I'm a father of a little girl and I was raised by women. None of the information that I'll be sharing is for you to go and manipulate women. But I want you to have success. We are here to procreate. I want you to have a good time. I want you to find a great match for you. I want you to have a great quality of life, okay? With that being said, indifference. Look at that. Look what I did. It was like a rainbow popped out of my hands. Indifference is the master key when it comes to getting women. All right. Now you look at me. I'm not the most attractive guy. I don't know what you may have to say when you look at me, but I'm not the most attractive guy. That's fair. That's fine. I'm also not tall. I'm 5'5". I actually probably grew an inch last year because of pull-ups, so I had a little something hidden in my back. But I'm a short guy, and because of that and my success with women, at least getting them, it kind of qualifies me, because there are guys who I would say without much ego, they look better than me. They may have more money than me. They're taller than me, whatever. For all my shortcomings, no pun intended, I made up for it in other ways, I used my brain, okay? And other things as well, and that I'll be getting to. So indifference is the key to getting women. What does that mean? Because some of you guys, you don't just feel the indifference. Like, oh, indifference. Oh, yeah, I'll press that button and I'm indifferent. Sometimes it's best to just do what indifferent people would do. People who feel that sense of indifference, what would they do? They would focus on themselves. So they have that take it or leave it attitude. You might not have a take it or leave it attitude, but you got to move as if you do. Now, when I say that, I'm not saying you go out and like, oh, take it or leave it, take it or leave it. But you do what people who have that mentality do. And so what do? If a woman isn't giving them a certain type of attention or whatever, they don't try to push it. They don't try to write all these love letters or ask a whole bunch of questions and like, I just want to know what you think about. You show no type of insecurity, Make yourself scarce if you need to. And when you pop out, present yourself as you are. You know what I mean? Of course, when you're away from the people, or no matter what, your main focus should be on building yourself up, okay? You should be, strength training. You should be reading. You should be meditating. I'm not trying to tell you what to do, but if you want my advice, you should do those things. You should be journaling. And you should talk to as many women as possible. You know what I mean? And from an organic standpoint, uh, and I'm speaking not as if I've done everything right. I just want to kind of cut the learning curve for you so you don't have to learn the way that I did. So when I talk about, yeah, you should do this or you should do that, it's not because, oh, I did it correctly. It's because I learned from the things that I did wrong. Like, for example, going out of your way, thirsting over all these women on Facebook and Instagram. Has it worked for me at times? It has. But for the most part, it really hasn't. If you want to play the law of probability and you don't get out much, I mean, sure. But no matter what, detach from the outcome. Understand that some women, they're going to leave you on red. Some women, they're going to see you as a creep. And you just got to be okay with that. Detach from the outcome. And it's easier to detach from the outcome when your priorities are in order. When you pedestalize women and they're like your top priorities, when you fail with dealing with them, it's going to hurt you. It's going to hurt your ego. You're going to feel lost. You're going to feel like a loser. Oh, what do I do now? And perhaps through all of your heartache and all your pain and all your disappointment, it leads you to what you should have done. That if you had a great father figure, like I wish I would have had, but I am one now. You will put priorities first. Okay? It's as simple as that. When you put your priorities first, when you really grind it out, when you finally pick your head up, you'd be surprised the number of suitors you have. Okay? And I think a big part is like you really build up your confidence. There's so many ways to build up your confidence. Just build up your confidence. Because when you build up your confidence in one aspect, it can carry over to other ones. Now, not necessarily, but when you have to go into the mindset, you have to have that mind frame where it's like, I'm not going to pedestalize women, okay? So that's the kind of the filter you have to put in. So that's how you recalibrate yourself. You say, okay, I'm not going to put women on a pedestal no matter what. Everybody stinks, everybody shits, everybody stinks at times, everybody shits, nobody's perfect, okay? So don't put anybody above. When you don't put anybody above you, it changes the dynamics. So for example, believe it or not, but I find me the prettiest women that you know, okay? And nothing's far-fetched about what I'm about to say. And although I may have thoughts like, in my mind, like I would do this to her, do that, we have a good time. I would talk to her as if I'm talking to somebody I'm not attracted to. That does not mean that I'm going to be disrespectful. I'm just going to talk to them like I'm talking to the camera, like I'm talking to you, okay? So exactly how I'm talking right now is how I talk to every woman, okay? Now, it's more so tailored to how much I know this person. So the more familiar I am with somebody, the more tailored our conversations are, just because you can't just hit everybody with everything. But from a general standpoint, it's like this. It's not like I'm talking to y'all like this and the camera like this, or I'm talking to my friends like this, and then when I see a very attractive lady, it's like I'm pulling out, pickup lines, and because I don't do those things. I don't do pickup lines. And that's another thing. My contrarian approach to life has carried over into my dealings with women. So because women are intuitive. So they know the signs, they know the looks, they have a large sample size. They're always if they look good, they're always being approached by men, okay? They're always being approached, so they know the signs. So this is why it's very imperative that you play to your uniqueness, okay? And that you are indifferent, because they will notice. I had a woman that I was talking to over 10 years ago. She noticed that I wasn't taking the opportunity to make like sexual innuendos. And what that means is like, let's say she say, yeah, I really do love meat, and she's referring to like, I don't know, eating steak or chicken or whatever it is. Instead of me saying, oh, I bet you do, I'm about to find out how much you do, I don't even address it. It's just like, oh, yeah, okay. Not even a laughing matter, but it's like, oh, okay. And she picked up on things like that. It's because, bruh, men are so predictable, okay? So you don't want to take the low-hanging fruit. It's like they're testing you. Like, there's so many women who knew when I was out for a particular thing, when I wanted a particular thing from, it's like I couldn't hide it. So if you can't truly be indifferent in the presence of a woman, spend as much time as possible you should do this anyway. Spend as much time as possible on yourself, working on yourself, building up your confidence to the point where your priorities shift in such a way where you're not just going to pedestalize a woman, especially a woman who hasn't earned that, who hasn't earned your respect, okay, who hasn't earned the right to do that. I'm not saying you shouldn't pedestalize women. If you have a woman who's really like down for you, who really cares about you, who's been looking out for you, why not pedestalize them, okay? Why not? Okay? Like, I believe that some women deserve it, but you don't just give them that up front. Like, you just gave them all the reassurance they need. Like, you gave them a big ego boost. Meanwhile, they're going to be chasing women who don't validate them at all. That's what I meant to say. You gave them all the validation that they needed. It's like filling up the gas tank so the car can go drive over to another town. You know what I mean? Don't do that. Okay? She has to earn that. And in some ways, you got to earn her attention, her respect, and all that by not being desperate, not being needy. Just try to look at it from their perspective. What woman who gets so much attention because they look good and all, Why would they want a needy man? Why would they want an insecure man? You know, it just sets off an alarm in them subconsciously that you don't really have your priorities in order. You don't really have much business. And quite frankly, you probably don't have any other women or any great suitors, because why are you playing them so hard? You know, why are you so available? Why are you so flexible? And I learned that the hard way. I learned that so you won't have to. All right. So I don't really want to beat a dead horse, but in summation, just focus on yourself, bro. Just focus on yourself.